If you're thinking of making some changes to your motorcycle, stop. Don't modify your bike till you finish this video. So many riders wind up making modifications, even major upgrades or improvements to their bikes, thinking at the least it'll make it more valuable. But in fact, they are often, more often than not, just killing the value of the bike entirely, and I will explain why. In this video today, I'm gonna look at my butt. Just kidding. We're gonna look at which modifications actually increase value, which ones don't even matter, and which modifications absolutely destroy a bike's resale value. So first up, which modifications actually increase value? Almost none of them, but let me explain. Let's talk about something damn near every rider is going to deal with sooner or later. What the hell is your motorcycle actually worth? All right, that's a question a lot of people ask themselves. Now, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to convince yourself those parts weren't a complete waste of money, this video is for you. Let's start with some good news because Lord knows the internet has enough doom and gloom these days. Not all modifications hurt the value of a motorcycle. In fact, some modifications can actually make a bike easier to sell and can even get a buyer to cough up a little more cash. Now pay close attention here, because this is where people screw it up. I didn't say you'll get back what you spent. I said you might get someone to pay a little more of that scratch. Now these are two very different things. Now just because you spent $2,000 on motorcycle shiny chit doesn't mean the market's gonna hand you $2,000 back with a thank you card and a beach. No, the only thing that matters is what the next guy is willing to pay. So what actually separates the modifications that add value from the ones that don't? Well, the answer here is surprisingly simple. It's those modifications that solve problems that almost every rider has. And speaking of solving problems, you know what solves one of mine? Click on that like button. Anyway, back to motorcycles. Think about something like a suspension upgrade, okay? Most factory suspension isn't bad. It's just built to hit a specific price point. Now, the manufacturer is trying to build a motorcycle for everybody, not the absolute best motorcycle possible. Now, a well-researched suspension upgrade can absolutely improve comfort, handling, safety, your confidence, and performance in bed. That's something damn near every rider can appreciate. Same thing goes for rubber. And yes, I said rubbers, you filthy animal. If I'm looking at two identical motorcycles and one has brand new quality rubber on it, while the other one is rolling around on some dry rotted archaeological artifact from the Nixon administration, that's a big difference. A buyer knows they're not gonna have to immediately spend money replacing the tires. Most importantly, they can't point at your crusty ass white walls and start haggling you down a couple $100. Now, the same thing applies to reliability upgrades that were not done by a dipshit. That's the key right there. That's very important. A great upgrade done poorly is worse than if you had never done it at all. But other than the reliability, things like that show the owner took really good care of the bike, like service records, other than that, your upgrades are mostly personal preferences that most people don't give a shit about and definitely won't pay more for. But can you at least get your money back? Absolutely the f not. It's used. The second you install something, it becomes used. But those upgrades can absolutely make the motorcycle more attractive to a prospective buyer and potentially justify a little higher selling price. But I am not saying you can now sell your bike at the price you bought it for, plus upgrade costs. No, that's not how that works. The modifications most likely to add value are the ones that provide benefits to a broad range of riders. They aren't always flashy, they're not always expensive, they're just useful, and they send the right signals to a buyer. They solve problems for somebody, they reduce buyers' worry, they remove future work and repair from a buyer's plate. But this is where you're gonna f yourself out of all the fun if you think in terms of value. This is not a yacht or a supercar. You shouldn't have half your net worth invested in this thing. This is a toy. If you buy it expecting that upgrade costs are investments with any kind of returns, you've got your head up your ass. Just do what you want to your bike. Have fun, enjoy it. But just have the emotional maturity to recognize you're buying enjoyment, not a damn mutual fund. You have a job, right? You have a fat savings account? Cool, me neither. Enjoy your freaking bike though, and don't worry about losing $3,000 in value. It's not worth the emotional burden, man. Just try to do some fun, okay? And I think that's where a lot of riders get this stuff wrong. You gotta stop thinking of modifications as investments and start thinking of them as improvements for you. Some improvements make a bike more desirable. Some make it easier to sell. Some might even get a buyer to pay a little more, you know? But very few modifications are some magical money machine that returns every dollar you spend. So here's the first lesson. Modifications most likely to increase value are the ones that make the motorcycle objectively better for the widest number of riders. The more universal the benefit, the more likely a buyer is to appreciate it, thusly and so forth, increasing thine demand. But that raises another question here. If some modifications can increase value, what about all the that riders spend thousands of dollars on that buyers barely even notice, or more often actually think is totally freaking lame? Well, buckle up, Buttercup. Today you go and learn. All right, so if some modifications can increase value, which is what we just talked about, what about all the modifications you spend thousands of dollars on that don't make a hill of beans of difference at all? Because there are a lot of modifications that I know you're really excited about, but some other buyer of your bike just simply will not give a flying f. Those are modifications of preference. Take things like handlebars, mirrors, grips, your foot pegs, seats, windshields, you know, countless other little cosmetic accessories. I'm not saying those modifications are worthless. They absolutely have value to the person riding the motorcycle. And if a different seat lets you ride all day without pain, that's valuable. Problem is that personal value and market value are not the same things. This is where folks typically make a very expensive assumption. They think because they spent money on a modification that they prefer, every future buyer will see that modification the same way they do. That is called ownership bias. And everyone has it, and everyone else is annoyed by it. I mean, you've heard it before on Marketplace. I know what I got. No lowballers, no tire kickers. You only have to say that shit when the entire world thinks your crap is worth less than you do. So here's a wee bit of wisdom when it comes to preferential mods. The more personal a modification becomes, the less likely it is to significantly increase resale value. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it though. It just means you should do it because you want it, not because you expect to get your money back later. Now, some of the best modifications you will ever make to a motorcycle fall into this category. They actually make ownership better, even if they don't make resale value better. Now, I want to remind you here, something very important. First rule of riding motorcycles is, what is that, kids? To look cool. That's right. So do to your bike that makes you look cool. So we've covered what modifications increase value and which ones don't really add to it. But there's another group of modifications here, the ones that kill your motorcycle value. And here's the funny part. These are usually the mods an owner is most proud of. These are the mods that get posted on Instagram. This is the stuff that gets shown off on a bike night. This is the stuff where you see the dude standing there with his chest hair hanging out of a sleeveless shirt, you know, Daisy Dukes, cheeks poking out, Monster Energy, telling everybody, I got 15 grand in this thing as he spits his dip, you know, cool, bro, that's awesome. Problem is the guy standing there with 20 grand in cash in his pocket, ready to buy a motorcycle, doesn't give a single shit about how much you spent. The modifications that really curb stomp your resale value are usually the ones that make the motorcycle look like it was built for exactly one person on the entire planet. 24-inch ape hangers, the puke green paint. Like, okay, like seriously, why? I honestly question people's sanity all the time when I see some of the colors for bikes that look like they were chosen from a sampling of baby poo colors. Like, you see it all the time, like, where did you get that paint color? My only assumption is that it was a Dollar Tree special and it went bad. I don't know. Then you have like stretch swing arms, so the bike turns worse than a train, all right? The seat looks like it's upholstered with 19 different Cayman crocodile tails, and you think that makes you look rich. Cool, bro. Some of this stuff's awesome. Some of my favorite motorcycles on the planet fit that weird and off-the-wall description. Now, the problem isn't that they're bad. The problem is that every time you make a motorcycle more personal, you do make it appeal to fewer people. Now, a stock motorcycle is like a cheeseburger. Most people will eat a cheeseburger. Once you start adding peanut butter, jalapenos, anchovies, mayonnaise, your gummy bears, whatever the have you, Twinkies, eventually you got a meal that's perfect for one guy and deeply concerning for the rest of us. And that's what happens to a lot of custom motorcycles. And this is the point where people start huffing that industrial grade copium. They'll spend 8 grand modifying a motorcycle and then convince themselves it automatically added 8K in value. Bruh, no, it didn't. You just spent 8 grand. That's it. Not the same thing as adding value. I have literally seen bikes sit for months for sale because the owner is just trying to recover every penny they dumped into it. Nobody cares. Literally, nobody cares. The market does not reimburse you for emotional attachment. The market doesn't care that your buddy Ricky spent 3 weeks welding it together in a garage fueled entirely by beer and Del Taco. And the market cares about one thing. Does the next owner want it? And sometimes modifications create the exact opposite reaction. That's the truth of it. So here's the lesson from my Zen garden of, well, just broken choppers and questionable life choices. The mods that destroy resale value aren't necessarily the ugliest ones. They're the ones that dramatically shrink the number of people willing to buy the bike. The more specific the build becomes, the more specific the buyer has to be. I mean, eventually what's gonna happen is you ain't gonna be looking for a motorcycle buyer anymore. You're gonna be looking for your soulmate. Like, you should be selling this thing on Hinge. Some guy with your exact taste, your exact riding style, your exact preferences, your totally exact willingness to overlook whatever weird you've done to the motorcycle. And not only does that guy have to exist, he has to be shopping for a bike at the exact moment you are trying to sell it. Good luck. But listen, straight up, build the motorcycle you want. Hell, I literally make my living helping people do exactly that. But just don't confuse building a bike for yourself with building a bike that's easy to sell. Those are two completely different goals. And the sooner you understand the difference, the sooner you understand what your motorcycle's actually worth. It's worth the good times, bro. And joy you get out of looking at it and riding it. That's what it's worth. That's at least worth losing some money over. It's just money. It's not your nest egg. So stop worrying about it and have some goddamn fun. If this was a Ferrari, we'd be having a very different conversation. Now, if you want to get more out of your bike, a little more performance, a little more fun, check out the Max Performance Kit. That thing is super fun. I will drop a link in the description for you. Now, a custom motorcycle is only worth in dollars what the next weirdo thinks it's worth. But you know damn good and well, you will not get those good times back, and you won't be young forever. So send it and do fun, man. You guys are dope. I love you. Do fun.